Hey there, welcome. I am Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Sunday, October 9th. Today there is a full moon, and today's full moon is in Aries. Some of the highlights that I've got for you today include 10 things that you should definitely do during the Aries full moon. But first, a little bit about this full moon. Aries is the sign of action and being a warrior. So finding your courage, taking action, moving forward, moving on things. And so much of the zodiac is about inner work, right? And self-care and how we process things so that we are doing that inner work. And Aries is one of the reasons we do all that. It's because when we come to this part of the zodiac that has to do with will, with life force energy, with taking action, with being actively in the world, when we've done all that inner work, it makes us ready to show up, to move forward, to take action, and to be who we are actively and proactively, boldly and courageously in the world. And that's the purpose, is to be here, to be ourselves, and to be ourselves unapologetically, with directness and spontaneity, which is what Aries brings. And so whether or not you have strong Aries energy in your chart, this Aries moon energy affects all of us. And when it's the full moon, once a year we have a full moon in Aries. It's always somewhere around this time, and it brings that to us collectively, because the full moon is revealing something. It is illuminating something, shining a light on something in our lives, something about who we are and what we are here to learn. So when we've got this full moon in Aries, as we do today, we're learning something about how to be ourselves. And when the moon is in Aries, the way that we learn is by taking action. So that means sometimes making mistakes, definitely taking risks, and going ahead and doing things boldly, directly, spontaneously, without thinking them through. But at the same time, we don't want to be stupid. So that's the pitfall of Aries, is doing things that you then regret. And so the best way to avoid that is not to hold back, not to not take risks and take action, because remember, Aries is about putting yourself out there. But the best way to prevent being or looking or feeling stupid is to be clear about who you are. And that's why we do all that inner work, is to do the inner processes that we need to do to clear some of the things that get in the way of us being authentic, getting in the way of us living according to our hearts, according to our truth, that might hold us back, or make us feel small, or make us feel like we should not take action. And we began this moon cycle with a new moon in Libra 2 weeks ago. And that new moon in Libra brought the theme to this moon cycle of creating peace, creating harmony, creating balance. What does that look like? And so the Aries full moon is here to remind us that balance doesn't mean self-compromise. It doesn't mean making yourself small and holding yourself back and being a people pleaser and not making waves. It means that real balance is about how we show up, and that we do need to speak our truths and live according to what gives meaning to our lives, what we're passionate about. So here we are. And when the moon is in Aries, sometimes things can erupt. There's sort of a, that spontaneous direct energy is out there in the vibe in the world, and can be a little bit unpredictable how it's going to show up. It can show up as anger, right? Aggression, bullying. These are all themes of Aries. Aries is the warrior. It's about feeling like you're in a battle if you're not actually in a battle. So that instinct and impulse to defend, to protect, to fight for what is important to you, what you believe in. And so you may find yourself with some of that aggressive energy showing up in your life, in the world around you, in what's going on. And again, the more centered we are within ourselves, the more we're living according to our own truth, the more self-care we've been doing so that we are energized and ready to respond, the more we can act without thinking from that place of speaking the truth. So when you feel battered down, when your needs are not met, when you feel small, you're going to be more of the aggressive energy, some of the reactivity, emotional reactivity that can come out during an Aries energy or an Aries full moon. And that reactivity is the lashing out, right? Maybe you didn't mean to say that. Maybe you said something to someone else that was hurtful, that you wish you could take back, etc. So just being quick to recognize if that's happening, apologize, say I didn't mean to say that. I really want us to be able to work together. I want to be able to hear what you're saying. I need to take care of myself first, whatever you need to say or however you need to handle that situation. So with this Aries energy, when we have a full moon, it's like going to the theater and then having the curtain be opening. The full moon reveals. So we're seeing some of what has been hidden behind the curtain, and something is revealing itself to us. And if we have been doing our work of setting intentions, of tuning in with ourselves, paying attention to what we're feeling, what we're needing, if we're doing all that work, then what is being revealed is the universe responding to our intentions and saying, here's how you could approach that. Here's how you could think about that. Here's something you could do. So notice, pay attention in what's unfolding in the energies around you in your life right now. What is being shown to you, what is being illuminated, what is being revealed about who you are, how to take action, where you can get involved, where you can be bold, be courageous, how you can find support for that, how you can find that clarity within yourself about how to take action and take risks and fight for what is important to you. Fight for what is right. Fight for what is true and meaningful and purposeful. Okay, so with that, here are 10 things that you should definitely do during the Aries full moon. And maybe you want to check them off if you notice yourself doing them, and then you can pat yourself on the back and say, yay, I'm doing one of the 10 things Marina said I should do. And so if you get to all 10, then yay, you win a prize. I don't know what it is, but even if you just do some of these, that's awesome. So here we go. Number one, 10 things you should definitely do during the Aries full moon. And it doesn't have to be today. It can be within a couple of days. Even if you can make this your plan for the next 2 weeks as we head into the Scorpio new moon. And then you've got 2 weeks to let this full moon energy unfold for you. And that can be its own process of discovery. That's another great way to approach this. Okay. So number one is speak up. Speak up about something. Say what you need to say. Is it in a group or a meeting or in with a friend or with a family member? Is it in a public forum? Where do you need to speak up? Where does your voice need to be heard? What is it you need to say? So, whether you plan it out ahead of time and write it out and go and be prepared and say what you need to say with your voice shaking, because that's what's really powerful. Do it that way. Or if you find yourself in a situation, that burning urge to speak comes over you, do it. Speak up, say what you need to say, take that risk. And that brings us to number 2, which is take a risk. So taking a risk can mean speaking up, but it can also mean doing something in your life that doesn't feel comfortable. So that's that place where we might need to do something that takes us out of our comfort zone, that might feel, we might quiver, we might shake, we might need to go and regroup after we do it. But taking a risk is going to take you to a place you couldn't have gone otherwise. And that might be something where you do something that you then regret, right? Maybe you'll make a mistake. Go ahead and make that mistake, because that is how we learn. And so if you made a mistake, yay, pat yourself on the back, check that one off because you did that one. Take a risk. So take a risk for yourself. This is a risk for you, for your truth, for the things you believe in. Do something that feels risky, that feels uncomfortable. Okay, number 3 is try something new. What have you not done? How have you not thought about something? How have you not approached something? What have you not gotten involved in because you've been hesitating? What have you not done because you're not really sure if it's the right thing? Try it. So this kind of goes along with take a risk, but try something new. Try something that is outside your comfort zone or that you've been meaning to do, but life always gets in the way, or you haven't done it because you weren't sure if it was right. And how are you going to know if it's right if you don't just do it? And so give yourself permission to try it and then not continue, or for it not to be perfect. That's imperfection is sometimes a really important practice to go for. Okay. So that was number 3. And number 4 is claim your agency. So, in what situations in your life are you doing something because someone told you to, or because you've internalized a message that says you're supposed to do it that way? What feels like it's not authentic? It's not really you. It's not how you would go about things. So what is your agency in this situation? How are you the agent? How are you the subject? How are you the source of this decision? So be your own decision maker and claim your agency in doing something. Say, I'm doing this because it's my decision and not for any other reason, and I don't have to explain myself. Be yourself. Okay. Number 5, turn around your victim story. So somewhere in your life, think about it. Do you have a story about how you're the victim? Now, this could be in your personal life where somebody did something to you. It could also be in the world. If you're angry at the Supreme Court for overturning Roe v. Wade, if you're angry at some potential former president for some things that they might have done. what is that victim story for you? How do you see yourself as somebody who something has been done to? Maybe it's something from your childhood. Maybe it's something from last week. Just find something, and if you don't have anything, great. Maybe you've done a lot of work on your victim stories. But many of us do have some sort of victim stories, or some ways that we sometimes think about things in a way that portrays ourselves as the victim of someone else. So turn that around, reframe that. How can you see that in a different way? How can you see it as something that has inspired you, something that has motivated you, something that has pushed you into a healing process, into learning more about who you are so that you could advocate for others, into being a better person, being a better, whatever you do for a career, being better in your work. How has your own victim story played into who you are, how you identify, and how you have become empowered? So turn around your victim story, reframe stories of being the victim to stories of your own empowerment. And then number 6, simple one, is make a decision. Make a decision about something. What is there in your life that you've been waffling on, that you haven't been clear about, or you weren't sure? This is the perfect time to make a decision, whatever it is. Again, you're going to learn something. You're going to maybe try something new, maybe take a risk, but to decide, literally, the literal meaning from the Latin is to cut away. And so when you make a decision, you cut away something, and that means you get more focused, more clear, and you're laser focusing more of your energy into where you want it to be. And if you make that decision and you find out, boy, that sure didn't work, again, there's a risk that you might take, then you're learning something really important, and you get to go do it again. And that's a beautiful thing about life and astrological cycles, is that it comes around again. And the important part is that we are learning and growing. And so when it comes around again, we have the opportunity to do it differently. So that's why it's totally okay to mess up in the moment, because that's an important way to learn. All right, number 7. Move on from things that aren't working. Something in your life that isn't serving you, that hasn't been in your greatest good, that isn't healthy for you, isn't helping you learn and grow, isn't helping you feel supported in being who you are. What is it? What is it in your life that you need to move on from? Identifying things that are not working, and some of it might be your own thought patterns, your own beliefs. Is something not working because or is there a belief you have about what you're capable of that's maybe not serving your highest good? That's something that's not working. So move on from that belief. What is it you need to move on from? Because moving forward sometimes means leaving things behind. And so what's not working for you, time to move on. And that might be a small change, it might be a big change, but if you're taking a big plunge, a big risk, trying something new that's really, really, really scary, then, I would urge you to have lots of support, think it through, don't jump off the cliff, because have a plan. That's always a good idea too. But Aries is saying, okay, there's probably a part of you that is holding back, and it's time to make that step forward. And so baby step, big step, whatever it is that you are ready for, time to do it. Okay. Number 8 is defend something you value. And this could be a great time as we're heading into the midterm elections for you to work on some cherished values, whether they are women's rights or democratic values or voting rights or fairness and equality, justice, all kinds of justice issues are up right now. So defending the earth, defending our planet, there's so much right now that we can think about that we value, and find one thing you can do to defend something that you value. And so, again, can't do everything. You don't need to do everything, but when you are serving as a warrior for truth and justice and love and healing, then your action matters. So find something that you can defend, and find something that you can do to move forward in defending what you value. All right, number 9 is be true to yourself. Aries energy is about rebirth. It's about authenticity. It's about the courage to be yourself. Life force energy. So Aries is the energy of emergence, like a sprout coming up out of the earth. It is that energy to say, I am here. I am me. Look out, world. So you cannot do that if you are trying to be someone else. You need to be true to yourself. And the only person you really can fully be and be powerfully is yourself. And so you might as well. There might be parts of yourself you don't like, or that you don't trust, or that you're not sure about. This is a good time to explore those and look at why, because the world needs you to be who you are, and being true to yourself is a good way to be in the world. And it's good for you. It helps, right? All of our energy flows better when we're being and acting authentically and not trying to stop and squelch and hold ourselves back, and create a lot of resistance to being who we are, because that causes imbalances of all kinds. And that's what we're focused on this month, is balance. And balance means being healthy and whole. True to yourself is one way to do that. Okay. Number 10, that brings us to our 10th and final of the 10 things you should definitely do during the Aries full moon. And number 10 is say no to something. So what are you going to say no to? Where are you going to have a boundary? Where are you going to pick up that sword, right? That metaphorical sword that says, nope, that's not me. It's not good for me. It's not healthy for me. I don't have time for that. I would love to do it, but I can't do everything. Whatever it is, what are you going to say no to? Because when you say no, you're also saying yes. You're saying yes to yourself. You're saying yes to what you value. You're saying yes to putting your energy where it can make the most difference. You're saying yes to being part of a bigger healing process. So how beautiful is that? And we had Pluto stationing direct yesterday. Pluto is the first of the 5 outer planets to change directions from retrograde to going direct. Pluto is power. And so that's one of the reasons we're so focused today on power. What is our power? How do we align with that power? And finding the courage to be who we are and to make decisions and take action from that place. So let's do a quick recap of the 10 things. And if you've been writing these down, hopefully this will help. 10 things you should definitely do during the Aries full moon. Number 1 is speak up. Find something to speak up about and speak up. Hear your own voice. Number 2, take a risk. Number 3, try something. Try something new. Get out of your comfort zone. Number 4, claim your agency. Be yourself. Do what you need to do. Take charge. Number 5, turn around your victim story. How can you reframe it to a story of empowerment? That was number 5. Number 6, make a decision. What are you going to cut out and cut in and shape through your decision making? Take a risk on making a decision. Number 7 is move on from things that are not working. What are you going to move on from? What are you going to leave behind? Number 8, defend something you value. What are you taking action to defend that is important to you, that makes a difference in the world, that is healing to the world around you, but also to yourself, because you're putting your energy into something important. So that was number 8, defend something you value. Number 9, be true to yourself. Be authentic. Number 10, say no to something, because in saying no, you're also saying yes to something even more important. Awesome. All right. So there you go. An Aries full moon, and we are halfway now through the Libra moon cycle. We're looking at themes of balance and justice. Really, really important. All this month, we're focused on themes of justice. We've got Mars in Gemini, Gemini helping us learn new things, collect information, have a battle of ideologies. Really important and good time to speak up, to interject information that is correct, accurate, and factual and evidence-based. And as you do that, you are being part of the solution. You're helping to defend the things you value and create wholeness and balance for yourself and in your own life. So as we move through this moon cycle, creating balance, creating justice, we do need to, and Aries full moon reminds us we need to take action. We can't just sit back and wait for it to happen or watch to see what's going to unfold. This is about what we do. It's about the choices we make, and it's about how we take a stand for the things that are important to us. So love to hear what you are doing on this Aries full moon to find your courage, to let go of any things that hold you back or ways that you don't believe in yourself from the past, to move forward, to step into all you are capable of as a courageous warrior for love and peace. And thank you so much for being here. Again, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you want to hear more from me about. Do you have any questions? I am creating these videos every day, so let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about. And you can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com. I do really super affordable mini readings. If you want to find out where this Aries full moon is in your chart and get some more specifics about how to work with it, we can do that. If you want to work in a one-on-one consultation with me, we can dive even deeper to look at what's going on in your life and how you can live more fully according to your courage and these principles of being whole and fully yourself and authentic in your truth. Living and healing, that's what it's all about. So astrologyheals.com, you can learn more about working with me. Thank you so much for subscribing to this channel. It really means a lot to me. I thank you again for your support and for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.